Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for checking out this video here on Show Style and Spirit. I am Ebony, of course. As you can see from the title of this video, I will be talking about two subjects here. This first one, I want to go over a couple of Melody's Instagram posts today. In my opinion, they are definitely just adding more reason to the indication that there could be some sort of tension between she and Carlos King. And also, I want to get into a shady comment that Dr. Heavenly said about Melody Cherie during her Messy Monday show with Carlos today. So now, before we get into these two topics, I ask that you all please hit the like button on this video. Even if you were to hit the dislike button, either one of those work the same, meaning that YouTube will push this video out through its algorithm, recommending it to more people who enjoy discussing the various topics surrounding love and marriage Huntsville. And if you have not already done so, please subscribe to Show Style and Spirit. I would definitely love to have you. All right, and everything that I'm saying here is alleged and just my opinion. And the Copyright Act of 1976, it says that my fair use commentary on the soundbite is allowed for criticism. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. So first, I will begin with Melody's Instagram post. She posted earlier this morning, one thing I always say, God is my source. Literally, I say this every single day. See, it's so easy for the enemy to make you think man, industry, executives, or even jobs are your source. But when you remove this notion and realize that it is only Him who can make or break you, increase or decrease, baby. So remember, if anybody is trying to touch your coins, affect your coins, play the games kids play, know that God has already placed a ram in the bush and He is your source. Hashtag eyes on Him. This is such an important post, and I could definitely relate to it. Like if you've ever gone to church, on Sundays, whether it was virtually or in person, and they would say, you don't worship the gift, you worship the giver of the gift, and you don't want to get caught up in titles. Like we saw during the recession, some people, especially like the really wealthy Caucasian men, once their businesses, their jobs were taken during the recession, if they lost their homes because like the identity was planted in the material things, in those job titles, in that salary, once it's stripped of you, like it was very hard for them to, cope with that. And even if you watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, way back when during the recession, there was a lady named Taylor who was on the show. And she was married to a man who lost his company during the recession and he unalived himself, unfortunately. Now, in my opinion, this is my individual opinion, Black people, like as a race, as a whole, we've had to learn how to make a dollar out of 15 cents. So when the recession hit, Black people kind of already naturally had some sort of way to try and survive, But certainly stress gets to us too, right? We definitely hide it, I think, and may not always embrace therapy and speaking your truth. We put a lot into keeping secrets and stuff, but definitely this post made me think of all of that. If you are worshiping the gift over the giver of the gift, if you're worshiping the job title, the amount of money that you make, you definitely want to get a grip, because I would hate to see, God forbid, you be stripped of that job title and that money. How are you going to cope if your identity is in something that is so fleeting and so material? But also in this post, and this is really big, Melody cannot be intimidated. And so when she said it's so easy for the enemy to make you think that man, industry, executives are your source, I instantly thought of Carlos King. And then in the next paragraph, when she says that if anyone tries to play with your money, know that God has already placed a ram in the bush and he is your source. That sounds like opportunity. And it's amazing that she posted that early this morning because yesterday I made a video talking about how her mimosas with Melody in Atlanta, it just spoke about, all of the opportunity that's ahead of her. And that's just like what I see when I look at her after seeing the footage from the Mimosas with Melody event. I see lots of opportunity for Melody in the near future. And, she is rubbing elbows and developing friendships and collaborating, doing business with more and more people outside of LAMH. And it's just growing and just getting bigger and bigger. So it's very exciting to watch. And then also in the next post, in her beautiful black and white gown, symbolic of being clear and direct, no gray areas, she captioned it with protected by the blood, protected by the love of God. So she's definitely not walking in fear because she's definitely walking by faith. So I thought that these posts were definitely inspirational and I wanted to share that with you. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the foolishness. So here we are with Dr. Heavenly. Some of you call her Elaine, some of you call her the dentist. And if you ask Sweet Tea, she is Dentist the Menace. And we have Carlos King. So as you all know, they have started their Messy Monday show at this point nearly 4 months ago, 3.5 months ago, at the start of season 10 of Married to Medicine. They were recapping the episodes. They have bonded on such a level that they have decided to continue to do Messy Mondays where they cover, whatever the topic is that day. Today, it was about part 1 of the Real Housewives of Potomac season 8 reunion, as well as Simon and Portia from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Now, if you are unfamiliar with the latest news surrounding Simon and Portia's divorce, here it is. So it's being reported that Simon Guobadia is requesting that Portia disclose all communications that she has had with Bravo concerning her marriage and Simon and their divorce. I believe that Simon is trying to document that Portia is using the end of her marriage as her storyline for season 16 of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. And then Simon wants to use that documentation to justify him trying to get some money from her. Now, we all have heard about how some women will break their husbands off some money for them contributing to their whatever season they're on. And then we know that the men get paid some money for attending the Bravo reunions. Now, Peter Thomas, he disclosed it during an interview that he would make Cynthia Bailey, his own wife at the time, whatever paycheck she got from Bravo, she had to give, like, I don't know if it was 5% or 10% of that to Peter for him filming scenes. And then he got money for attending the reunion. So anyway, that is my theory surrounding Simon being so ugly. This is going to be such an ugly divorce. But I know that Portia is a spiritual woman. I know that she will pray about it. I know that her mom and sister, Lauren, will support her. She definitely has her tribe. She's not alone. Shamia Morton is her best friend. She will encourage her also. But oh my gosh, Simon is relentless and he's petty. So that is what he's doing to her. So the two of them, they were discussing that. And so Heavenly is going to sneak in this comment about Melody and Martell that I just did not like. So I'm going to play this soundbite and then I'm going to come back with my commentary.
Too sure that they're not going to get back together. I wouldn't be surprised.
I never thought about that either.
Martell gonna get back with Melody.
You said what?
I still think Martell Hope gonna get back with Melody.
Oh, I don't think that at all.
Okay, I don't know. That D is a brother Tucker. That's what I heard about it. But that's neither here nor there. Okay, but you don't know what's true, what's not. I feel like they love each other, and it's a possibility that they could be back together after all. But my whole thing is, when you're going through stuff, why play it out on social media? That's what I'm saying. Like,
well, that's the thing.
Like, don't do that.
The thing about it is that it's Simon, and I think, listen, me and you joke all the time, but the one thing you say about Dr. Damon that I do respect is Dr. Damon ain't on social media talking about you or anybody. So,
retweeting shit or liking shit. No.
Yeah, so I
was
a
man of a certain age. It doesn't seem like a businessman, a real, you know what I'm saying, would be doing that.
Okay, so you heard that soundbite. I wanted it to keep playing after she made the Melody Martell comment, just to give further context on how they were speaking on Portia and Simon. So I want to say, y'all, when you watch their Monday night show and she says that, it gags Carlos. It throws him off guard. He gets almost a little nervous in the face. His facial expression, his facial countenance, he gets a little uncomfortable. All he said was, I don't think that's going to happen. And then when she said, I heard that D is a mother tucker, that's when he looked uncomfortable and he did not comment on it. I think that he did not want to get caught saying anything inappropriate involving Melody, because we don't know if HR, human resources over at OWN, if they're involved in any sort of investigation. Allegedly, in my opinion, I'm just hypothesizing here. He definitely was mum's the word. He did not laugh. He didn't make a face. He didn't turn around in his chair. He didn't do any theatrics like he thought what she said about the D, Martell's D being a mother tucker. He did not do any theatrics or seemed amused at all. He seemed anxious. So I kind of felt like he was definitely trying to tiptoe, and he didn't want to do anything inappropriate because Dr. Heavenly had already gone there. And Dr. Heavenly was saying, that perhaps she felt like Simon and Portia may still be in love or still get back together. I'm paraphrasing. Then she said, and I think Martell and Melody will still get back together. She's still on really emphasizing like Martell's name. You know how last week she called Melody Martell and then said his wife, Melody S. Holt. Just really sticking it with the disrespect. And then in my opinion, she's doing it again today. Now, Dr. Heavenly, she definitely has a fan base, because after I expressed this in a video, they were on my Instagram, they were in the YouTube comments, definitely going up for her. Oh, she just had a slip of the tongue. Now, I have said, I am the baby. I have 5 sisters and had a brother. My mom would call me all my sisters' names because I'm the baby. By the time you go through all of the names, she would forget my name. Okay, no big deal. But I was never called my brother's name. She never called me my dad's name. Never like the opposite gender. Okay, it was always someone's name of the same gender. And then by the time you say someone's middle initial and their former last name, come on, give me a break. And then this next week, today, the next consecutive week, she's back at it again. So I believe she's definitely hating on Melody. Even more, in the very beginning of the live, before she added Carlos to it, someone asked her in the chat, why didn't you go to Melody's Mimosas with Melody? Dr. Heavenly pretended as if she did not know anything about it. She was like, Mimosas with Melody? Well, I don't know anything about that. We'll have to ask Carlos, but I'm sure he won't say anything because they can't say anything about anything that will be on the show until it airs. Now, that part she may not be privy to knowing that production did not even bother to film Mimosas with Melody. But she definitely was dismissive of it. So I'm convinced that she definitely heard of the Mimosas with Melody event. She just decided not to attend. And between all of the media coverage right here on YouTube and Instagram, people like Claudia Jordan and Hill Harper posting so much about it, oh, she definitely heard about it. She was just pretending not to, in my opinion. But thank you all so much for checking out this video. I really appreciate the support. Please hit the like button on this video. It is a free way of supporting the channel. And please let me know in the comments, what do you think about her making that remark, saying that, she felt like Martell and Melody would get back together, and she used the Y behind it being sex, the D. Melody is much more deeper than that. And then she said she heard that it was good. Well, who did you hear it from? I never hear you say that, you kick it with Sheree. She said she knows, Candace and Chris from Potomac. She knows Portia. She's hung out with Nene. She's never said those things about Sheree Whitfield. And I know Melody didn't tell you any such thing. So what, are you talking to Ariane? I doubt it. But you never know. She is messy. But let me know in the comments what you think about these topics. And Melody's encouraging post, do you think that it was about Carlos? I know I do. I hope that you all had a great Monday. If it was kind of rough, if some extra things happened that you weren't planning on, I know that that sucks. You didn't do anything wrong. You did not deserve it. Tomorrow will be a much better day. It will be a terrific Tuesday. And do the things that relax you and, restore your hope, whether that is saying your prayers or journaling, writing down your intentions, or getting your thoughts out onto paper. Stand in the mirror and say your affirmations. You've got this. All right. And I will talk with you all soon. Bye.